My God, I hate drugs.
Three aspirants for the top post in the Philippine National Police were with President Duterte in his official visit to Russia. This photograph, exclusively obtained by CNN Philippines, shows Brigadier General Gilbert Cruz with Mr. Duterte in Russia. PNP spokesman Bernard Bana confirming Cruz, as well as Brigadier Generals Rodel Sermonia and Fillmore Escobar, were part of the president's official party. In President Duterte's arrival speech in Davao City yesterday, he said he has yet to find a replacement for PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde. Albayalde retires early next month. Also in that speech, Mr. Duterte backtracked from his previous claim that two generals are involved in the illegal drug trade. The president says he was confused by the ranking system for policemen. The PNP chief saying he is ready to face an investigation into his alleged protection of the so-called ninja cops. General Oscar Albayalde is being implicated in a controversial Pampanga drug raid in 2013, where officers then under his command reportedly recycled seized illegal drugs and received millions of pesos and SUVs to let a drug lord escape. In a media briefing this morning, Albayalde directed all PNP units to cooperate in probes, including that of the Justice Department. Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara created a three-member panel of prosecutors to reinvestigate the complaint against the ninja cops. The prosecutors are given 30 days to complete the reinvestigation.
I'm thankful to President Rodrigo Roa Duterte and DILG Secretary Eduardo M. Año for allowing me the opportunity to be heard in a proper probe body. With their assurance of impartiality and due process, I am ready to face investigation to once and for all clear my name and spare the PNP from further embarrassment and unwanted public opinion created by these internal and external political machinations.
Albayalde adds 13 so-called ninja cops can be removed from service without notice. He adds he ordered a PNP unit to initiate possible summary dismissal proceedings against the erring policemen. Their penalty was earlier downgraded from dismissal from service to a one-rank demotion. We're monitoring today Vice President Leni Robredo's camp asking the Supreme Court for the results of the initial vote recount in the poll protest she filed by losing VP candidate Bongbong Marcos. Robredo's lawyers cite the need for transparency, but Marcos's camp says she should refrain from making a mockery of the legal process. Robredo was proclaimed vice president in the 2016 elections. The recount began in 2018, 2 years after Marcos filed his electoral protest. Malacanang not giving much details on President Duterte's new revelations about his health. President Duterte told Filipinos in Russia late Saturday evening that he has a chronic neuromuscular disorder called myasthenia gravis. Mr. Duterte made the revelation after joking about how he was trying to look at a woman with whom he had a duet earlier in the program. Here's the president in his own words.
Ganon ako eh. May talent na magtingin ako sa iyo. Yung isang mata ko bumaba. Kita mo maliit yung isa? Tingnan mo. O di maliit? Yun. Nagsasariling biyahe yan. This I use for, ano bang maliit sa akin? Ito siguro. Because, actually, that's myasthenia gravis. It's a nerve malfunction. I got it exactly from my grandfather. Ganon rin siya. So I believe really in genetics.
When asked when Mr. Duterte was diagnosed with the disease, his spokesman said he did not know about it yet. And when pressed for more information, Sal Panelo had this to say.
He didn't elaborate on that.
Upon returning from Russia, President Duterte told reporters he's nursing a bad cold, but Panelo, allaying concerns, says the president is well. So what is myasthenia gravis? The United States National Institute of Health says it's a chronic autoimmune neuromuscular disease that causes weakness in the skeletal muscles. These muscles are responsible for breathing and moving parts of the body, including the arms and legs. The disease often affects muscles that control eye and eyelid movement, facial expression, chewing, talking, and swallowing. It may also affect muscles that control breathing, the neck, and limbs. Its symptoms may include drooping of one or both eyelids, blurred or double vision, a change in facial expression, difficulty in swallowing, shortness of breath, impaired speech, and weakness in the arms, hands, fingers, legs, and neck. Previously, President Duterte said he had undergone a biopsy and this tested negative for cancer. The president also said he has daily migraines, Berger's disease, Barrett's esophagus and gastroesophageal reflux disease. He also revealed that he is taking sleeping pills and needs additional oxygen to breathe better while sleeping. CNN Philippines spoke to a neurology consultant of the Asian Hospital and Medical Center. Dr. Josephine Tuason says myasthenia gravis is a disease that can be controlled with medication.
We give usually steroids, immunosuppression. And there is also the medicine which we call it acetylcholinesterase inhibitor, which increases the number of circulating acetylcholine that is responsible for the contraction of the muscle. It can be life-threatening if you develop myasthenic crisis. Sometimes this may be triggered by infection or stress.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, meaning we really have nothing to worry about because, syempre, it's a point of concern when the president says, you know, I have this myasthenia gravis.
It's not
and he talks
something
about
that we should not worry about. It can be controlled by medication. And if the patient has thymoma, it can be the thymus gland can be surgically removed. No, so that's how you manage it. There is no cure, but it can be managed medically.
Malacanang unfazed by the new Pulse Asia survey showing a decline in the president's trust and approval ratings. The latest survey shows 78%, or about 8 out of 10 Filipinos, still appreciate Mr. Duterte's performance for the past 3 months. 8% disapprove, while 14% are undecided. The president's approval rating, however, is lower than the 85% ranking he got in June. As for his trust rating, most Filipinos, or 74% of the respondents, still have big trust in President Duterte. 9% say otherwise, while the rest are undecided. Compared to the last quarter, President Duterte's trust rating went down by 11 points. The survey was conducted from September 16 to 22 among 1,200 individuals nationwide. Malacanang says the Senate probe on the illegal drug trade may have pulled his numbers down. But it adds the ratings are still high since it's more than 70%. You're in the newsroom on CNN Philippines. Selling second-hand phones may soon be banned in the nation's capital. And 2 Filipino athletes bringing pride to the country. We'll be right back.
But you thought he was qualified on August 20. You made the order.
Because, sir, I'm not the lawyer, I'm not the court.
I don't care if
cannot
you're not a
decide
lawyer.
on...
When you take a position in the government, doesn't matter whether you're a lawyer or not, you take responsibility. It's called accountability.
As in the past Congresses, legislative inquiries took up much of the Senate's time at the start of the 18th Congress.
You dropped the ball. You dropped the ball. From the very beginning, you dropped the ball.
I'm willing to be subjected to investigation, Your Honor.
The Senate Blue Ribbon and Justice Committees have conducted 8 hearings, which started on the Good Conduct Time Allowance Law or Freedom for Sale scandal, branched out to other corrupt practices involving Bureau of Corrections officials and bilibid inmates, and now the recycling of drugs by ninja cops. Committee Chairman Richard Gordon initially said he only wanted 2 hearings on the GCTA issue. But during almost every hearing, senators would uncover a new possible anomaly, making them call for a new hearing.
I see rough sailing when I make my final report.
The Senate has also taken up controversial measures. For the first time, the divorce bill was discussed in the Senate. Senate Committee on Women Chairperson Risa Ontiveros is optimistic the controversial measure will pass in the Senate. But some senators were quick to say they do not support the measure.
I do sense na mas may openness dito sa dissolution of marriage bills kumpara sa iba pang mga contentious bills.
I don't think will move here in the Senate, no? Kasi yung divorce is bira ito doon sa word na marriage, which is very sacred for Filipinos like us in a Christian country like the Philippines.
The same committee has also discussed the SOGI Equality Bill, or the bill prohibiting discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity and expression. This early, however, Senate President Tito Soto has already declared the measure dead in the Senate. He explained the measure is unconstitutional and infringes on the religious and academic freedom, among others. But Ontiveros is not giving up.
Napapasa sa Senate yung SOGI.
Yes.
Based sa conversation ko sa mga kapwa-senador ko, na we have a strong fighting chance.
Neophyte senators have also taken an active role in the Senate in their first 100 days in office. The Senate has approved the measure postponing the 2020 Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections to December 2022. Senate Electoral Reforms Committee Chairperson Amy Marcos sponsored the measure. Senate Public Order Committee Chairman Bato de la Rosa held several hearings on the missing minors suspected to be recruited by leftist groups. He has just released his committee report. For his part, Senator Bongo continues to defend his pet bill, the measure institutionalizing the malasakit centers in the Senate floor. Joyce Ilas, CNN Philippines.
Manila Mayor Isko Moreno wants to ban the sale of second-hand phones in the city. He earlier warned some establishments to stop buying or selling stolen gadgets or face closure. The anti-fencing law prohibits the sale of stolen goods. Our Trisha Terada tells us more.
Manila, the country's capital, is known for its rich culture and some colorful streets lined up with bargain items, clothes, housewares, even cell phones. Whether in Divisoria, Padre Faura, or on this stretch of Quiapo, you will find at least one mobile shop or mats laid on the streets displaying brand new and second-hand phones for sale. But authorities say in many cases, second-hand phones on sale are stolen. Vendors say it's not easy to spot stolen phones.
Wala, kasi pag minsan may magbenta sa amin, tatanungin namin, nakaw ba to? Hindi. Di ba, minsan pag hindi rin namin maiwasan makapagbili kami pag may kailangan. Pero sa ngayon hindi na kami tumatanggap ng mga ganun.
Yung karamihan po nagsuswap. Pero yung iba naman, hindi naman yung sinasabi nilang nakaw.
But soon these second-hand mobile phones will be banned in Manila. Mayor Isko Moreno seeks to prohibit establishments from selling pre-owned mobile gadgets.
Hindi na dinidistinguish kung legitimate yung second-hand cellphone or illegally acquired. Basta bawal magtinda ng second-hand cellphone. Para wala nang bagsakan to mga to. Kailangan pa nila bumiyahe sa ibang syudad kung gagawin yon at available sa ibang syudad.
Mobile shop owners have no problems with the policy.
Pabor naman po kami para maiwasan yung gulo, yung mga nakaw-nakaw na yan para wala ng problema sa mga pinagbabawal niya, susunod na lang kami.
But others have some reservations about the move.
Pwede po naman magbenta ng sikanan yung may deed of sale siya para hingyan ng ID. Limbawa, ganun, para kung pwede lang yun.
The Manila government will cancel business permits of violating establishments. In fact, a mall in Manila may face closure. A student has recently filed a complaint against the mall after she found her stolen phone in one of the mall's tenants.
Alam mo sabi sa kanya, ng mall, huwag ka na mag-complain kasi nabalik naman na yung cellphone mo eh.
Authorities have previously called out the mall about tenants holding illegal gambling activities and selling stolen phones.
Matigas ang ulo ng isitan eh. Kinakalo nyo yung mga illegal activities eh. That's too much already. Dalawang bagay lang yan. It's either nagtetengang kawali ka o malakas ka sa mayor. Teka, sino ba mayor dito?
Moreno says he will also crack down on other malls that have tenants offering illegal services and products. Trisha Terada, CNN Philippines.
Rights groups slam Moreno's plan as anti-poor because they say Many Filipinos cannot afford brand new phones. They call for a legitimate program to help solve poverty instead.